First off, I am happy to say that Legacy Expo, the follow-up to the first Legends Con in 2023, was also a big success. Much like Legends Con 1, there were panels, cosplayers, special guests, and lots of fun things to do. There were even more special guests this time around. Matthew Stover, Barbara Hambly, Sean Stewart, Abel J. Pina, and many more were return guests. But we also got a lot of actors this time around too, like Stephen Constantino, Margot Apostolos, Rena Owen, and Eric Walker. And it was a joy to talk to all of them, and get their autographs. There were so many special guests, it was hard to make time for them all. One of my favorite moments was when Dylan asked James Luceno about Palpatine rejecting his family name in the Darth Plagueis novel, and how fans speculated that Palpatine's first name was Kosinga, named after his father. Luceno said that was pretty much what he was implying, but couldn't outright say due to Lucasfilm's constraints. Unfortunately, Michael Stackpole, Stephen Barnes, and Jason Fry all canceled due to illness. It would have been awesome to see them too, but there were get well soon cards for people to sign, so I thought that was really nice. As for the vendor hall, they definitely improved on things. The layout of Legends Con 1 had the rows more bunched up towards the front, and there was this kind of large, awkward, empty area in the back. This time they spaced it around more evenly, and it looked a lot better. The vendors themselves, I think, understood the assignment better. I felt there was a lot more EU-focused merchandise in Fanworks. You know, probably want to sell EU stuff to EU fans at an EU convention, but that's just me. Still lots of other nerd-focused interests like video games, and sure, plenty of Disney canon stuff sprinkled in too, but it seemed like people were buying them, so I myself probably spent more money than I should have. It was mostly on fan art, and I do like to support artists, especially if they like to draw for Legends. The Book Truck was the non-profit charity that all proceeds for the con were going to this time around. And they did a lot of silent auctions for merchandise that was gifted to them. The Holy Grail being a new Jedi Order hat, signed by both Matt Stover and James Luceno. Needless to say, I did not win it. A key highlight is when we introduced Christian Gossett, pretty much the inventor of the double-bladed lightsaber, and the creator of his original series, The Red Star, with the Book Truck. So they might collaborate in the future. The panels were also a lot of fun. I went to a few of them, and I was basically summarizing in real time what they were saying on my Facebook page, Continue the Star Wars Legends Universe, if you want to check that out. But the YouTube channel Only Good Games has recorded and posted some of them on his channel, if you want to go watch them right now. I know Legacy Expo recorded all of the panels, and my biggest wish to them now is that they post them all soon so that everyone can go watch them. I don't even recall if the panels for Legends Con 1 ever got posted, but I do remember waiting and waiting for them to. There were also trivia games, Family Feud, and photo shoots. I would say there was about the same number of attendees as there was in 2023. One of my favorite things to do was walk around and see all the cosplayers. You can tell that these guys are hardcore fans. Speaking of which, one of the standouts in the vendor hall was Star Wars Re-Expanded, a group that collaborates on fanfiction and even printed them into book format that actually looks like real Star Wars books. They couldn't legally sell them, but they gave them away to people for joining their Discord server. I'll leave a link to them in the description. Finally, at closing ceremonies, we all thank the staff and guests for making all of this possible. Catherine Winchell was the person that made Legacy Expo, as well as Legends Con 1, the huge success that they were. And Austin told the story of how he met her in the hospital after she was in a car accident shortly after Legends Con 1. One of the first things she asked was, when do we start planning for the next one? Finally, she mentioned that there were talks with Lucasfilm for maybe making an appearance at Celebration in 2027, and she also said no official announcements, but keep an eye on 2028. Needless to say, I already can't wait for the next one. 2 conventions for our niche little sub-fandom, and they were both major hits. Once again, I have to ask Lucasfilm if they notice just how many hardcore EU fans there are keeping the EU alive. Whether or not you attended this year, I hope to see you at the next Legacy Expo. Long live the expanded universe.